We have this opportunity right now. We have this grand and glorious opportunity where the world is pausing, where we're seeing some of these structures crumbling, and where we get to revalue, to reevaluate what we want to build in our lives. Those who have perhaps lost their employment, those who are shifting the way that they do their socializing and their structure and their businesses, that we all have this new opportunity to do things in a new way, to be creative, to adapt our thinking to an unprecedented way of being, to be kinder, to be more loving, to pause and realize, oh my gosh, what a great disruptor in some ways this has been, so that I can reflect upon my life and the thoughts that I've been thinking, and I can begin to choose new thoughts. And there's ever only two choices in the thoughts that we think.
Hello and welcome back. We're so glad to be back with you. We're so excited, really, that you're here today because we get to be with you. This is what we call community, and this is really cool. I mean, it's actually happening. We're gathering, we're hanging out, we're chatting. You can chat right over here. We're having some fun. And also, please share some comments down below. And if there's a particular issue that you want us to maybe address in one of our talks here, or bring some True Thought principles to work for you, let us know. Give us some comments down here and we'll absolutely address that for you. You can also find us at truethought.org, and I'll put it up right here so that you'll have that. And also from there, you can leave us a message if you want to send us an email. Also, please subscribe and check out our Facebook page. You can find that on our website. You can find all these things on our website, truethought.org. So if you have that one, you're good to go. My name is Brother T. I'm excited to be with you, and I'm excited to introduce my wife, Reverend Renee. She is a religious science minister, ordained minister, and has been studying for years and years, and brings tremendous wisdom to the teaching that we now deliver as True Thought in the spiritual community that you are now a part of. And thanks so much for being here with us. So buckle up, here we go. We got a fantastic message for you this morning. I can't wait to sit down and check it out with you. Thanks so much for being here. We're ready to go. Here we go.
Thank you, my wonderful husband, Brother T, for that introduction. And thank you. Hello and welcome. I'm so very grateful that you are here in spiritual community today, and know that you are not here at all by accident, but by divine appointment. And that whether we know it or not, that we are in community right now, in a community of heart and mind as we join together. So I'm going to invite us to pause for just a brief moment. Right where you are, just take a healing breath, a healing conscious breath. And as we allow breath and breathing to have its way with us to become conscious, we can allow the body eyes to close just for a moment. And how good it is to pause, how good it is to enter a still point and to turn within to heart and mind, to the power and presence of Creator, to commune with Spirit as Spirit, and to remember for a moment, for a holy instant, our divine identity, that love and I are one. And so take that in. Love and I are one. God and I are one. Spirit and I are one. And so we connect in a unified field of consciousness in which we realize and remember ourselves as spirit, holy and divine, beloved, children of the all that is. And as such, we get to decree how this time together is. I bless it. I bless each of us. And I just say something wonderful and magnificent is happening. And it's the unfolding of the awareness of the presence of love right where we are as we are. And so for this and so much more, I am grateful. I release this word, and I know it returns fulfilled because it's already done in the mind of God. And so it is. And so it is. Amen. And so we let it be as we begin to open the body eyes, that we connect in this field of consciousness of oneness. And we begin our conversation. Our conversation today, for me, was an absolutely revolutionary idea, an absolutely revelatory idea. It caused me to pause in my life, and in that pausing, to become aware of something. And this awareness actually changed my life. Now, when I share this with you, you're probably going to think, oh, we know that already. We've heard that before. But sometimes there's a moment when we hear something we've heard before where it takes on a deeper meaning for us. Because in truth, our spiritual principles, our truth teaching, our true thoughts are very simple. And so this happened for me about 13 years ago when I was living in Los Angeles, and I was in practitioner training, spiritual counseling training at Agape International. And I was having a spiritual counseling session with Kathleen McNamara, who was in charge of all the practitioners. Beautiful, amazing, powerful consciousness. And we were having a session, and I am so certain that I was telling her quite a story about something in my life. And she listened and said these words. She said, "Claudia, you have dominion over your thoughts." And I'm thinking, no, I don't. Yes, you do. You actually have dominion over your thoughts. I have dominion over the thoughts that I think, that I entertain, where I place my attention and my awareness. And as I entertain and place my attention and my awareness on the thoughts that I am choosing, they expand and they increase. But I'm the chooser. I'm the one who has dominion. Now, at the time, this disrupted my story. It was a spiritual disruptor, a thought, a true thought principle that as it became something that I courted, that I thought of, oh yeah, wait a second, I do have dominion over my thoughts. I'm going to pause. I'm going to interrupt. I'm going to disrupt this erroneous thought pattern. And I am going to return to a true thought, to a thought of God, a thought of love. It became a way for me to begin to change my thinking, thought by thought, so that I could then change my life. And so I want you to have this experience of, oh yeah, I have dominion over my thoughts. And let's think about this for a minute. Let's think about it. Let's think about these thoughts about I have dominion over my thoughts. In that moment, I wanted to deny it because I wanted to believe that it wasn't my fault. Now, we don't do fault here, but we do freedom here. And in this dominion that I have is my freedom. And it's your freedom too. That none of us is a victim of condition or circumstance. And the reason is because we are made in the image and the likeness of the Creator. We are creative beings. And we think the thoughts that we think, which are cause in nature. The thoughts we think become things. And as cause, thoughts are things. And this is a true thought principle, that thoughts are things. To be made in the image and likeness of the Creator not only makes us a creator ourselves, but it also means that we are of the same nature. And when we are of the same nature of Creator, we have the ability, as spiritual beings, we have the ability to think beyond conditions, beyond effect, beyond circumstances, because we realize that we are the creators of conditions, of circumstances, and we are the creator of them through our thought system. And the coagulated collective thought patterns of humanity create the world that we are experiencing today. So herein lies our freedom, is that truly as we change our thinking, we do change our lives. Now, if we look to the Bible and how this all started, it says, let us make man in the image and after our likeness. This is God speaking. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the heavens and over the livestock of earth and all the creepy, crawly things on the earth. That's what the quote goes, something like that. And I've never really liked that quote that much because I always felt that it gave man, woman, humanity license to have dominion over earth and over animals, and has been used to justify some pretty awful behavior and some pretty cruel behavior. But if we remember that these words are meant to be symbolic and are meant to be metaphysical, that they are something that has a meaning beyond the physical, we begin to see that what we have been given dominion over are our ideas. Our ideas. And if we look at even these words metaphysically, to have dominion over fish is over our ideas of multiplicity and fertility and richness, and of the seas and the oceans, of a depth of consciousness, that our awareness, a deeper awareness, or dominion over the birds, which tend to symbolize elevation and enlightenment, and some birds even peace. And over the heavens, which is our home, and over our sustenance through the livestock and earth, the grounding, and even the creepy, crawly things is the sense consciousness, the five senses, that we actually have dominion over these things, these ideas, because these ideas emanate from us through our thought system. Thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. We, individually and collectively, are a thought in the mind of God. And those thoughts, they don't leave that source ever. In the beginning, Brother T introduced, in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word proceeds from a thought. And for us, a thought in the mind of God. Brother T, I mentioned, he did a talk last week called The Word, using the definition that word means the energy of the Creator in action. In the beginning was the Word. In the beginning was the energy of the Creator in action. And the energy of the Creator of action was with God, was with the Creator. And the energy of the Creator in action was God. And that you are that Word. You are the energy. We are that energy of the Creator in action, made in the image and likeness, having dominion over the ideas that are infinite in possibility. And through our choosing, that we choose, that we pluck from that infinite possibility the thoughts that we entertain, that become the things that populate our experience, our landscape, and the world. So back when Kathleen McNamara told me that, that I have dominion over my thoughts, And even right now, when I share this with you, in the world that we currently live in, don't we believe in some areas that, no, it doesn't matter what I think about this. It's going to happen anyway, or this is just the way it is. In our culture and in our world right now, I would suggest that we have become a little lazy in our dominion and our authority over our thought, over our thinking, over the gift that we have, over the gift that we've been given. Why do I say that? I say that because what I see a lot of is parroting, is a lot of herd mentality, a lot of polarity that is going on right now. And you're either in one camp or the other. And in that camp, if the conversation is about being against someone or something, that we are not in the realm of the thought of God. And so let us take our pause during the day, during our conversations, because our conversations are mirroring what our thoughts are, and therefore what our belief system is. And we must go back to the remembrance that we are the builder and the creator of our experience, thought by thought, idea by idea, that these thoughts as things become the brick and mortar of the structures and the life that we live. Unity right now. We have this grand and glorious opportunity where the world is pausing, where we're seeing some of these structures crumbling, and where we get to revalue, to reevaluate what we want to build in our lives. Those who have perhaps lost their employment, those who are shifting the way that they do their socializing and their structure and their businesses, that we all have this new opportunity to do things in a new way, to be creative, to adapt our thinking to an unprecedented way of being, to be kinder, to be more loving, to pause and realize, oh my gosh, what a great disruptor in some ways this has been, so that I can reflect upon my life and the thoughts that I've been thinking, and I can begin to choose new thoughts. And there's ever only two choices in the thoughts that we think. I want to quote something from A Course in Miracles. It's lesson 16. It's one of my favorite all-time quotes, whether I'm teaching from religious science and metaphysically, or whether I'm teaching from A Course in Miracles, because they say the same thing. And what it says is, I have no neutral thoughts. Say that with me. I have no neutral thoughts. My thoughts are not neutral. My thoughts are creative. My thoughts are things. My thoughts are not neutral. It goes on to say that everything you see is the result of your thoughts. Everything you see is the result of your thoughts. Look around the space that you're even in right now. Everything is the result of your thoughts and the collective thought patterns of humanity. There is no exception to this fact. See, that's the thing about truth. It's true always. It's true always. There are no exceptions to the fact that you have no neutral thoughts. They're not really big or little. We think, oh, I have this big thought, or that's such a small thought. No, they're not big or little. They're not powerful or weak. They're merely this. They're merely true or false. And those that are true recreate after themselves. They regenerate. They bring forth truth. And those that are false do the same. And this is my favorite line. There is no more self-contradictory concept than that of idle thoughts. So going back to Kathleen and to the, I have dominion over my thoughts, the realization that my thoughts aren't idle and they're not neutral. They actually do matter. And that there is an opportunity to realize that what gives rise to the perception of a whole world can hardly be anything than idle. Every thought we think is either contributing to truth or to illusion. It's either extending that truth or multiplying illusion. And so we have this opportunity at this juncture in our lives. Let us be grand, great disruptors. Just like my story got disrupted by this thought, this true thought principle that I have dominion over my life, that thoughts are things. Let us return to these basic principles right now. Right now. That I'm either thinking thoughts that are true or false. And what we teach here and what I've always demonstrated in that pausing when we go within is that pausing to spirit. That pausing to allow the thought of God, the thought of love, the thought of Creator, the thought of peace to be the thoughts that I multiply and extend as the creation of my experiences, the literal brick and mortar of how I create the landscape of my experience. So you remember a couple weeks ago, you might remember that I spoke about our performance review, and it was about our divine identity and how we are made in the image and likeness and how we are so made of love and that we are the creator in expression and extension, and how magnificent it is that we can love our life, that we can realize this power and this freedom, connect it with knowing this and practicing this one true thought principle. And I said, but there was just one thing in our performance review that we kind of had a miss. And from there, everything that seemed unlike love and God came forth. And that was the idea that we believe that we are separate. And so, yes, I have dominion over my thoughts. And yes, there are only thoughts that are true and false. And that I can connect with spirit, with my higher self, with Holy Spirit divine that is within me, that is me. And I can ask for what is the thought of God or the thought of love, moment by moment, thought by thought. And that is our practice. I have no thoughts of my own that are separate from this. And as I begin to practice and realize, oh yeah, I get to choose, that I can begin to remember that, oh yeah, thoughts of God, thoughts of love, they're for us, never against us. They're for us. That's why the universe is so benevolent and good. And so taking a breath with me, now is the time. Now is the time to declare, oh yeah, I have dominion over my thoughts. And to get excited about it because I get to choose, and there's really only one choice that I now know that I want to choose, and it's thoughts of God, thoughts of love, thoughts of peace, thoughts that I want to extend as the energy of the Creator in action through my word, through my thoughts, through my actions. That I become aligned in this truth. That I choose wisely. That I'm discriminating. I don't need to follow the group. Because one with God, one with love, is always a majority. Because there is nothing else, truly, that is worthwhile. So say with me, I have dominion over my thoughts. I have dominion over my thoughts. And commit to a practice this week, thought by thought, to pause, to reflect, and to begin to choose only the thoughts of God and love. And don't worry, it won't diminish you, it will expand you into the multiplicity of the infinite, into the diversity of the infinite goodness that extends and expresses in a multitude of ways goodness, love, a new experience of heaven on earth. This is what I know for us. This is what I claim. This is what we celebrate this week. And together with this blessing of all of us, I say, and so it is. And so we let it be. God bless. I love you. Have a beautiful day. And so it is. Amen.
Well, thank you, my darling. I guess it's okay for me to say that, right? Since Reverend Renee's my wife. I'm still, taking all that in. That was a very powerful message. So as we're closing, we just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being with us today. And of course, we appreciate your support. If you go to our website, truethought.org, there's a place there where you can make a contribution to our ministry, to our community, in support of our community if you'd like to. Or you can just go to love.truethought.org. There's a slide up for that as well. We're just so grateful that you're a part of our community. Thanks so much. If you find value, let it change you. And if you love what you hear here, please share our site, subscribe. You can click the bell if you want to be notified. We are putting up more content each week, and we've got some stuff already in the hopper, and we're working every day on building this ministry, this spiritual community with you. And we're so excited again to be a part of it. And we're looking forward to the day in the not too distant future where we'll be doing some gatherings. And wherever you may be, where we might be, we hope that we'll be getting together. So I'm pretty excited about those things that are coming up. We're excited to be here with you today, and God bless you, and thanks so much for joining us here at True Thought, a spiritual community at truethought.org. We love you. God bless.